So I have a son.
How old?
12.
Okay. When's the last time you seen him or had contact with him?
Last time I seen my son is I see him in like on the phone, video chatting and stuff. I'm sorry, but last time I seen him was probably 2 years ago.
I see that. What are you feeling right now?
Pain. But my son, I ain't get to do a lot of stuff that some people get to do with their kids. So.
What's your name, brother?
Bleak.
Bleak?
Yeah.
And how old are you, Bleak?
32.
32. Where you from?
South Philly.
Okay. And how long you been out here in Kensington?
About 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. How was your childhood growing up?
Childhood.
1 second, let me just wait for the train to pass. Thank you.
Growing up, I had a good childhood. Everything except for like my mother and my father. My mother used to get abused by my dad a lot when I was younger. My pop passed away when I was 10, so my mom took me out to Jersey. I had a good education. I went to Overbrook in New Jersey. I went to Camden County College, got some credits, wound up coming back to Philly when I was 18.
Okay. And how did you feel when your father passed?
My father.
How did you feel towards him? I asked that because you said, you know, there was domestic violence issues with your.
So my father passing, it hurt me because at 10, I really didn't know my father in and out. I knew my father for going to work, coming home, taking care of the home, but I didn't know my father as in, my father's name is Elliot Burton. He's part of the Black Mafia, Carpenter Street gang. So some people knew who he was differently than what I knew. So, but I always loved my father. I mean, he abused my mom. Yeah, I held things about that, but he always made the home right. So.
Was there any abuse with you?
No.
No.
My father.
He was all right.
Yeah, my father used to drink a lot though. So.
Okay.
That was his thing.
Yeah. Good. You have any children?
Yes, I have a son.
How old?
12.
Okay. When's the last time you seen him or had contact with him?
Last time I seen my son is I see him in like on the phone, video chatting and stuff. I'm sorry, but last time I seen him was probably 2 years ago.
I see that. What are you feeling right now?
Pain. But my son, I ain't get to do a lot of stuff that some people get to do with their kids. So you know,
I see you really care about it.
Yeah. My baby's mom, she got tied into the drugs after us. But
is she still using now?
Yeah. But it's always been a problem. Me being in the streets, me being in the mix, I wasn't able to do things that other people were able to do, like take drug tests and stuff like that. So I wasn't able to have him in my life like I should. My mom always stays around him. He knows who I am, but I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have that bond. I don't have that first steps, getting watched. I don't have that play football, stuff like that. I don't have none of that. You know what I mean?
So I spent 17 years in the penitentiary, and me and my wife we have 7 kids. For the majority of my children, a lot of that stuff you're saying I missed also. from being in the penitentiary. I raised my kids through a visiting room.
Right.
My daughter, she's 19 months. She's the first one that I've been there for everything since she's been conceived until she moves out of the house, you know. And it's a blessing, and it makes me feel good because I'm like, man, I get to experience this, truly be a father for the first time. Because when I was young, the thing I always want to be in life is just a good dad. You know, I don't care if I make money, I don't care about that stuff, as long as I'm a good dad. You know, and I can see the way it affected you when we started talking about your son. That I can see you have that in you also, that you want to be a good father, you want to experience that stuff. Is there anything, if you could say something to him, what would you say?
I love him.
You love him?
There's nothing else to be said about it.
Yeah.
I mean, his mother kept me away in times that he needed me. And, you know, if I wasn't with her, then she decided that I couldn't be with him.
Yep.
So, you know.
So I have 2 kids prior to my marriage, and both of their mothers do that. One of my sons I haven't seen in almost a year, and we live 20 minutes from each other. We have a custody order in place, and she plays these games, you know what I mean? She gets upset at me and she thinks, I'll hurt you, I won't let you see my son, you know. And it hurts, you know, it hurts. I take her to court, the judges keep on doing the same thing, and you know, nothing. And I'd be like, man, but if that was me doing that one time, I'll be back in jail. You know? What's your addiction like?
I mean,
What's your drug of choice?
It definitely, it used to be heroin. I mean, a year ago I stopped using heroin, fentanyl, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Right now I'm on a Suboxone shot.
Okay.
Out the strips because I didn't want it no more.
Yeah.
And I'm stepping out that door. Like I don't use everything that I used to use. Now I do use ice every once in a while, crystal meth.
Yeah.
But my addiction is definitely like I got a pay raise, you should say, because that heroin turned me into something that I wasn't, and caused me to separate myself from family, caused me to separate myself from friends, associates.
Yeah.
You know. But now, like that, with that out of my system, I see things a little differently. Yeah, I'm still getting high, I'm still using, but I think that heroin is a total different thing, man.
Yeah, especially now with the fentanyl, you know,
yeah,
it's a whole different beast.
It's a whole different thing, man.
If you had a chance to go to a program and get clean, would you?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. I've been to 6 different rehabs. When I was a juvenile, I've been to 2 6-month rehabs. I have a certificate in junior counseling. I know some things about this addiction thing we would call. I still haven't got to that point where I'm at to say nothing. I don't want none of it. And I don't want it. I don't want it because of the things that come with it. But I don't know, it's just, I've been falling short, you know. I'm trying to change my surroundings. And like I heard something earlier actually with
1 second, brother.
I heard something said in one of your other interviews saying that nobody wants to be here. And it's not all the way true. It is true, but it's not all the way true because I'm from South Philly. You don't come on the block and see people saying dope pot of rocks, and you don't see people shooting up. You don't see things like that. Yeah, it's around, but it's not as open. It's not as accepted.
The open air market that it is here.
So with me, like, I fell in love with the energy out here. I fell in love with the speed of it. I fell in love with with just the mix. It's not even, for me, it don't even be the drug most of the time. It just be the life.
Yeah. Right? So That's me. That's me. So, and I, you know, even though that I'm clean, I still come back down here.
Right.
I'm down here damn near every weekend, just doing different things.
Right.
You know, and I was like, I love the energy, the busyness, even though I hate it.
Right.
I can't, one thing I know about myself now is I can't be down here getting high anymore.
Right.
I just can't do that. But it's a lot easier for me to say that now that I have, you know, almost 6 years clean. If I had 1 year clean and I tried to come down here and do this, I don't know if I could. You know, so I know what you mean by saying, you know, not everybody doesn't want to be down here. When I say that, I mean in its entirety. We would pick and choose what we could take. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we'd take the good stuff and leave the bad stuff.
Right.
But that's not the way it goes. It's not the way life goes. We have to deal with everything. Yeah. You have any questions for me, brother?
I mean, I don't have no questions for you. I'm just, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could say so much more to this camera too, man. I haven't been in and out of this joint. I done lived out here for 2 years straight under Emerald and Lehigh. We call it the Emerald City.
Yep.
Like I mean, I ain't gonna go too far into it, but I'm a little stamped out here. People know who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I put my work in. I shed in my blood. You know what I'm saying? My blood has been shed. You know what I mean? I've been in these streets, man, and I love these streets to a point, man. I just don't love what they do to me.
Yeah.
You know? And I thank you for putting out what's not shown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the news don't show. I mean, there's stuff that I got from here that I thank these streets for. I've learned some survival tactics and some things that a lot of people wouldn't be able to go through out here, man.
Yeah, no, you can't drop just anybody out here and expect them to leave in one piece.
Like another thing, like my mom, I got a real good relationship with my mom, man. And like that's my dog. And she said to me one day, she said, I didn't raise you like this. I don't understand it. Like, but I respect you because you're doing something that I could never do. Yeah. And I was choosing to do this until this day. I have my own home that my father left me. I have another house that my grandmom left me. I'm well set off, but I love these streets, man. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I thank you, brother, and I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me, man.
Thank you.
Listen, I hope if nothing else, that you get your shit right and go be a father. It's never too late. It's never too late, man. That young boy needs you. All right, brother?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't never too late, man. It ain't never too late. It ain't, you know. And kids at a young age are very resilient. My son, he just turned 8 years old yesterday, and he don't really remember coming to visit me in prison, even though that's what he did for the first 3 years of his life. And my daughters, you know, prior to that, they came for, you know, years, and he don't hold that stuff against me. He doesn't, you know, and I'm grateful that he doesn't. But he doesn't remember that stuff. He remembers right now. You know, he remembers me spending time with him right now. That's what he remembers. So it's never too late, man. All right? I wish you the best, brother. I wish you the best.